Hey everyone, welcome to the Elevate Conference in beautiful San Diego, California. Today with me, I have Mr. John Cattie from Cattie Gonzalez. We're going to talk about Medicare Secondary Payer compliance. But before we jump into that, John, what is your conference experience like so far?
This conference has been fantastic. First time I've attended Elevate. It is a must attend on the annual going forward.
Excellent. Yeah, Elevate, I've noticed one of the differentiators for them is that it's very high energy. They keep things moving at a very fast pace, not to mention the top talent that they bring. We had the coach from the Savannah Bananas this morning, which was incredible.
Love that. What a great message of betting on yourself and spreading happiness and joy.
Absolutely. Well, John, I wanted to pull you aside today to just provide a little bit of education around Medicare secondary compliance for the folks that are here in San Diego, but also to those that might be watching this video today. So what can you tell us about what's coming ahead in October for Medicare secondary payer
Absolutely. So Medicare compliance always been a moving target for a lot of folks in the workers' comp world, right? And we got another moving target that's coming next month. October 11th is when Medicare will begin to audit live files of payers who have submitted TPOC reports looking for those that are doing it wrong. They're submitting non-compliant reports, bad information, untimely reports being submitted, and then the ability to penalize them under the new civil money penalty regulations that they instituted.
Well, Medicare compliance or secondary payer compliance, MSP as they say, is one of those issues, John, that at least in my experience has tended to fly under the radar for a lot of payers, for a lot of self-insureds, a lot of folks that even have, guaranteed cost programs. And so from your perspective, what advice would you give an employer that's out there?
No, great question, because I think there's been a lot of complacency because we haven't seen Medicare really actively enforcing the Medicare secondary payer provisions for reporting conditional payments and for MSAs, right? So with respect to these new audits of the reporting that's going on, number one, organizations need to make sure that they have registered with Medicare as a responsible reporting entity, or RRE for short, okay? Those are the organizations, if you have not yet registered, you're late to the game, but you still need to get that going so that you don't face further exposure down the road. So that's number one. Number two is if you have registered as an RRE and you've been reporting all this time, make sure that your reporting is up to 2025 standards. I mean, if you started reporting 10 years ago and you instituted a protocol in 2015, if you still rely on 2015 protocols for this, you are out of compliance. You're behind the times, and you need to make sure you're up to present day.
Fantastic, John. Well, I appreciate that update. And I think it's really important for organizations, even now, October is right around the corner. But if there are organizations out there that haven't prepared, right, what would you say is the top priority for them right now as that deadline, that enforcement deadline gets closer?
Our firm has done audits for clients around the country in this area to ensure that what they're doing is appropriate and compliant. Here are some of the top errors that we're finding as we go through these hundreds of files that are going to Medicare. We're seeing incorrect injury codes getting reported, ICD-9, ICD-10 codes. And the problem with those is that Medicare will take at face value what they're receiving, figuring out that, hey, if this is getting reported to us as compensable, well, we must have a right to recover if we made payment for it. Medicare is mistakenly thinking, hey, we have a right to conditional payments here. Incorrect dates of injury. We see that being reported. So lost dates that might not line up with what's actually on the file, which again leads Medicare to believe it might have a right of recovery for conditional payments that it doesn't really have. And all that leading into non-compliant reporting that could lead to up to $1,000 a day penalty if the file is selected for audit.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really appreciate having access to an expert like yourself and the folks over at John Cattie, or Cattie Gonzalez rather. You all do things a little bit different than your typical MSP compliance service provider, but that's because you're not just a service provider. Tell us about your approach to MSP compliance.
And this is such a timely question, Carlos, because of the message this morning about betting on yourself from the Savannah Bananas, right? That's what I did in 2016, and that's what Raphael did in 2020. When Cattie Gonzalez got off the ground as that partnership, as a law firm doing Medicare compliance, as opposed to a traditional vendor partner, our firm does all of the standard stuff that vendor partners do. We do the reporting. We do conditional payment checks. We write our own MSAs with our medical team and submit those to Medicare for review and approval. But we have an additional layer on what we can do because as lawyers in a law firm giving legal advice to our clients about these issues, we stand behind that 100%. And our clients are protected by legal concepts such as attorney-client privilege and work product doctrine. And so the ability to have a lawyer well-versed in Medicare Secondary Payer and all things that covers really is a benefit to organizations to have a law firm like ours on their panel, even in conjunction with a Medicare compliance vendor partner.
Interesting. So what I'm hearing you say is that individuals who might be interested in learning more about Cattie Gonzalez don't necessarily have to consider wholesale change. It could be in addition to what they currently have in place. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
A lot of folks that we talk to that learn what we do love the flexibility that having us on their panel provides in conjunction with their vendor partner. Because it's the ability to bounce things off of us to ensure that things are on the right track, that things are legally accurate under the Medicare Secondary Payer Act. And then there are some sticky situations. There's some complex claims that require some deeper analysis, some higher level thinking perhaps, and some outside the box solutions oriented analysis, I'll say.
Fantastic. Well, John, I really appreciate you stopping by. It's great to see you here at Elevate. And what is the next stop for you on the conference circuit?
Oh, the next stop for me, I'm at North Carolina Prima's 2025 annual conference next week, starting on Sunday in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. So a home game, so to speak, for me.
Love it. Love it. If you're going to the North Carolina Prima Conference, be sure and look up John Cattie. Thank you so much for tuning in. And John, thank you for all the wonderful work that you do in MSP
Thank you, Carlos.
compliance.
It's a pleasure.